Night Call Review. I'm amazed by how this crime drama took a simple story and made it so meaningful and tense. Night Call ties the action thriller format with political commentary that gives the movie a unique symmetry and emboldens the message it depicts. The French film also features remarkably talented actors in all central roles. The direction, Michael Blanchard's feature-length directorial debut, is refined and delivers one clear voice throughout. All things considered, Night Call is a stirring and compelling film that immediately grabbed my attention and maintained it throughout its runtime. The entire film takes place over the course of one particularly eventful night and into the next morning. Mady, a young man who works nights as a locksmith, is called to assist a woman in getting into her apartment. But it soon becomes apparent that it is not her place and Mady has just been thrown into a world of trouble and deception. Meanwhile, the streets of the city are packed as a large Black Lives Matter protest is in progress. Night Call delivers compelling action with meaningful social commentary. Night Call's story is dramatic, tense, and full of action, but there are plenty of movies that follow a similar formula and end up with lackluster results. What sets Night Call apart is the decision to position this story with a backdrop that adds to the overall value and narrative. Mady is a young Black man who studies and works hard to pay for his education. However, the film's particular setting creates added tension for Mady as BLM protesters draw attention to police brutality and excessive force. The thing that sets Night Call apart is the decision to position this story with a backdrop that adds to the overall value and narrative. When things get complicated for Mady personally, he feels limited in his choices about how to respond to a situation that should have a fairly straightforward outcome. But as a result of the circumstances and tension, it's anything but. With pressure from multiple sources and the strength of his will to live and overcome the challenges driving him forward, Mady tackles an impossible situation, even as things only get more complicated as the night progresses. The beauty of the film comes from its ability to build on the tension in meaningful ways as Mady's interactions and actions move the narrative forward. At times, the faults appear cut and dry, and good and evil line up neatly. But as the story unfolds, lines begin to blur. The story stops being about what is right and becomes more about Mady's struggle and the many influences that complicate his situation to the point where his world becomes unrecognizable. Night Call relies on simple yet effective means to create something special. The movie has a strong political message that is nicely woven into Mady's life story. Some of the most incredible stories ever told begin in simple and uninspiring ways, but they show a path that takes the characters into circumstances beyond their imagination. Night Call is not nearly so fantastical because the events are all things that can and do happen. People lie, mistakes are made, people get hurt, and life is complex. The film employs simple techniques that create intimate moments for the characters and position the audience from Mady's own point of view, which further creates a connection to the events on screen. Night Call takes us on an increasingly tense journey. It employs simple techniques that create intimate moments for the characters, pulling us into Mady's point of view, which further creates a connection to the on-screen events on screen. And thanks to the actors' performances, it maintains the weight and gravity of the narrative. While action thrillers are prone to do something similar, Night Call has taken this premise and imbued it with creativity and a deeper meaning. It's not a movie about spies and highly skilled fighters. It's a story about a dark and occasionally terrifying world. But despite the darkness, Mady is able to push forward and make the choices he believes are right. With that, Night Call is a powerful film,